Hi, I'm Ashley from Bookaholic Anonymous, and this is my video telling you that I am, in fact, a bookaholic. So, the questions that I came up with for all my other readers who want to do this, and anyone else, I'm going to answer those, so you can see kind of what I'm doing, except mine's going to be video format, because I love videos for some reason. So, have it again? I don't know. So, first one is, of course, are you a bookaholic? And remember, admitting it is the first step, so don't worry. But yes, I am. As you can tell behind me, and well, you can't see the other side of me, but there's a whole bookshelf there. And you can't see this side, but there's a whole desk full of books. You can't see behind me, but there's a little nightstand that has books on it. So, anyway, when did you notice you had the problem? Probably when I started, a little after I started my book blog back in October of 2010, when I came about all the blogs, noticed all the cool books and all this other stuff. Yeah. The next questions are going to be, they can be strictly yes or no, or I can give a brief answer, which I don't know. It says, do you lose time from work due to your reading habit? I would say probably not, but I do read on break at work, so I guess in a way I kind of am, but I'm on break, so that doesn't really count. Have you ever gotten into financial difficulties as a result of reading? I'm going to plead a fifth. No, I do buy a lot of books now, so I kind of ignore some of the other stuff I'm supposed to pay for. And then when I need to pay for it, I'm like, oh crap, I can't do it. But we won't get into my financial difficulties or whatever. Anyway. Do you crave a book at a definite time, like in the morning, at night, or just whenever? Usually, I don't read in the mornings. I try to read at nighttime, like when I get off work. And when it's really, when it's dark outside, you can lay on your bed and enjoy the book. The next question, it kind of fits in with that one. Do you want to read the next morning when you get up? I don't want to read right when I get up, but like I said, well, maybe later on in the day or something when I'm not doing anything or whatever, then yeah. Does reading cause you difficulty in sleeping? I guess you could look at this either way. If it's a really, really good book and you want to know what happens and you want to finish it, then yes, because you stay up all night to finish reading the book, and you don't go to sleep, and then you're tired the next morning when you do wake up finally. But I'm always, so that doesn't matter. But also, if it's really kind of not a book that interests you, and it goes on and on, then it puts you to sleep. That's kind of mean to say, but it's true. So yeah, either way, it could go either way. Do you read to escape from worries or troubles? I would have to say yes, in a sense. If you've read, there's somewhere on one of my pages I post, whatever, it says that it's one of the reasons that I read books. I guess mainly young adult books, and I read in general is because you can escape into those characters' worlds, and you don't have to worry about what's in your world, and you can just kind of lose yourself in your mind, and so it's a good way to, it's like therapy, I guess. So it's therapy, and more therapy, but anyway, it says, do you read alone? Yeah, most of the time I do. I mean, if I'm reading, usually I'm in my room and I'm reading, or I'm, like I said, at work in the break room reading. Sometimes I'll read out in the living room when there's others out there, but most of the time I can't do that because there's too much talking and I can't think what I'm reading when that's happening. So yeah. The next bit is tell us a little about your addiction. And I can answer as little as I want or as many for this part because I have a list of questions. So all of them. Out of the 5. What do you mean I will? What type of reader am I? I'm not really sure. I mean, I guess it just depends, really, on my mood and what I read, or am I a fast or slow reader? It just depends on the book, really. So I think everything just depends on something else. So if it's a slow book, if it's a really, really good book, then I'd like to get through it fast. If it's a okay book, I kind of take my time with it. But I'm more of a young adult reader. I love the young adult books. And so yeah. What types of books do you typically read? Like I just said, usually it's the young adult books and stuff. It has the dystopian books in it, which I just started reading a lot of. It's got the contemporary books, which I've read a couple of those, and they're really good. And it's got the paranormal books, which I love. I love the vampires. I love the werewolves. And I haven't really read fairy books. I love the witches and all that. Do you prefer print books or ebooks? I like either, really. I mean, I like the print books because I like the cover and the prettiness of them. As you can tell, and I like to see them sitting on my shelf, even though you can't see half of them because they're behind the other covers. But then I like the ebooks because you can put so much on your Kindle or your notes or whatever e-reader you have, and you can take it with you, and nobody has to know what you're reading. So yeah. What are 5 of your pet peeves related to books or reading? I had my answer typed out, but I don't know where I put it. But the first one is when people get excited for a book that they've never even heard of until the movie came out. Like the Twilight book, which I'm really actually guilty of, so I can't really say a whole lot about that because I never heard of the Twilight book before the movie came out. But after that, yeah. So, but like the Mortal Instrument books are turning into a movie, and the Hunger Games books are turning into movies, and everyone who hasn't read those books before or doesn't know anything about them, when the movies come out, they'll know what they are and all this, and I'm sure that'll bring a lot more readers into those books, which is okay, which is a good thing, because we want people to read. But still, that kind of irritates me, I guess. Even though I was one of those people at one time. The second thing would be crap. The book covers or the book jackets on books like this. I prefer to have all my books have the book covers on them. And when you go to like used bookstores and stuff, some of the books don't come with those jacket covers, and that irritates the hell out of me. Pardon my language. But I don't see why you would get rid of a book and keep the book cover. I mean, that's part of the book. Why keep the book cover? It doesn't make sense. So it's kind of irritating. So yeah. I know I'm a little weird. The third thing would be stopping or finishing a chapter before I stop, because I like to finish, and I don't know. I just like to be able to know that I'm stopping at a good point, and I won't have to, like, I don't know. I'm just going. The fourth one would be I like all my books like to be the same. Like I like all hardcover in the series. They're all paperback in the series, but that doesn't always work. Like my House of Night books, I have half of them are paperback and then half of them are hardback. My Vampire Academy books, same way. Half of them are paperback, half are hardback. So yeah, it's like whatever, and also the book covers. I like all my book covers to kind of match. And that doesn't always happen. Like on the cover. The Nightshade books that just came out, or the Nightshade book and Wolfbane. I liked Nightshade's book cover. I loved the purple and everything. And then they went and changed the book covers completely. So, I don't know. I don't like the new ones. That just irritates me. So now, those two books aren't going to look anything alike. Because one is one book cover and one has another image. It's just irritating. So, and this one, hold on, I'm like trying to figure out. This one last Yep, that's pretty much it. There's 3. That really sucks. But I think I have these somewhere else. Anyways, the first one. The next question is, if I had to choose between really good characters and a bad plot, or bad characters and a really good plot, which would it be? I'm so bad at these questions. I hope y'all are better at answering them. Because I really, really love characters. I mean, my books that I write or I try to write, there's so much more character influence, and I love making the characters form, and then the plot is kind of, it's there. So, I guess for me it might be that, the good characters, but then again, I really want a good plot too. I want it to keep me interested, and I want to be able to know, and if the characters suck, then at least you still have a good storyline and whatever. So I don't know. That's kind of a hard question. Way to go, Ashley. Anyway, do you always have a compulsive need to buy books, or are you someone who likes books but doesn't always have a desire to purchase them? I always seem to have that compulsive need to buy books regardless of whether I need them or not. And probably a bad thing, because I don't really need books, as you can see. So, yeah. So the question, I guess, is, do I need them? No. Do I want them? Yes. Am I compulsive? I'll let you decide. We all have those characters we love in the book. What? So am I more addicted to the tall, dark, handsome, mysterious type, or the sensitive, laid-back, best friend type? And I had this question, kind of a question that was on a friend of mine's blog. But honestly, I can't choose one or the other, because the tall, dark, and handsome one is really, kind of mysterious, and you want to know about them, and they're just kind of there in the shadows and all that, and it makes for a good character, but doesn't necessarily mean that they're always gonna be a good character. They might have that tendency to be, too overprotective or abusive even, or whatever. I'm not gonna go into books that are like that, because we all know what books are gonna be like that. But also the sensitive, the laid-back best friend type are, those are fun to have too, and even though most of the time the best friend is probably doesn't get the girl, they're still there. But I guess the question is, which one I'm more addicted to? I'd probably say the tall, dark, and handsome, mysterious type. Sorry, best friend. The next question is, I know we all want to read everything, but sometimes we can't. If you could only read 3 books for the rest of your life, what would they be? Now, I know this is hard for people to decide. I understand that. And to be quite honest, it's a little hard for me. Because honestly, I don't know. I haven't read a whole lot, and I haven't read some of the classics that are probably really, really good. So this is going to be kind of based off what I've read. First one, if you know me or anything, you know that my first book would be Vampire Academy book. I know there's 6 books, and I said 3. So one of those books in the series. It might be the first or the second book. I don't know why. I like the second book because I like Adrian and I like his character in that book. But the first book is, always start off. And anyway, two other books. Probably the Harry Potter books. And again, that's a series, so we'll just kind of, there's not one particular book I like in the series. I just like all the books. And if I had to choose the third one, that's a very good question. I honestly, I don't know. No. I don't know. I mean, I guess I could say, out of the ones I read, I really liked Nevermore by Kelly. I don't know how to say her last name, Korean, I think. It was a really good book. That's a long book. Are you predictable when shopping for books, and do I have a shopping pattern? Yes, I do. And I probably am very predictable. Probably predictable in the sense that I go straight to the young adult section of any of the bookstores at all, ever. I'm not too fond of any of the others. And always, do I have like a shopping pattern when I do that? I guess kind of. I mean, I start with all the A's and then go. And I tend to usually go back and relook them just because see if I missed something that I might have liked. So yeah. What one book would I recommend over and over again? I guess it really depends on the person that you talk to and what they like the best. But again, I'm in love with Vampire Academy books, so I'd probably recommend those books or the series actually, because it's awesome. And I love Rose, I love Dimitri, I love Adrian some of the time. Lisa some of the time, Christian. Yeah, that would definitely be one of my book recommendations. If you haven't read it, read it. How much does the book blogging community contribute to your book buying habit, addiction, and pattern? Before I started blogging, I really didn't buy a lot of books. I just kind of went based on what the books said themselves, and I didn't know about all the new books that were coming out. Before then, sorry, my cat. And so I really didn't have that. I didn't really have a problem with it because I didn't actually know what the books were about, and if I saw one, I'd usually just pass it or whatever. But now that I know what the books are about and how much everyone loves these books and what books are coming out, in the next couple months, and what books are even coming out next year, I'm like, okay, I know these are the books I want for next year and whatnot. So yeah, thanks to you guys, I'm like, whoa. But I still love y'all, so don't worry. My blog is like my lifeline to my addiction, like literally, because if I didn't have it, then I wouldn't know who I would talk to, I wouldn't know what I would say or what I'd do or anything like that. So you already know my blog name is called Anonymous. How long have I had it? I think I said I've had it since October 2010. For everyone who wants to start a book blog or any blog, what's the best advice I can give them is pretty much just do what your heart tells you to, do what you want to do. And when you see all those book blogs or blogs that have all those followers, 1,000, 2,000, 500, whatever, however many followers they have, don't let it get to you, because every one of them had to start from somewhere, and they've just been doing it probably a lot longer, and they captured all those readers. You know, it took them a while. It took them time to get where they are at. So don't let what you see discourage you from trying it and discouraging you from doing what you want to do. And if you feel like, if you make one and you feel like it's not going anywhere, nothing's happening for me, then, just step back from it, take a break, let it go a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so, and just let everyone know, hey, what's going on. Don't just disappear. And, step back and ask yourself why you started the blog, or why did you start it? What did you want to get out of it? What did you want to accomplish with it? And if you can answer those and have good reasons and you're comfortable with those answers, then I'd say stick with it and keep trying, and it will get somewhere sooner or later. I know at one point in time I was like, this isn't going to work, and can't do this, and what if nobody's reading it and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I had doubts, but I do it because I enjoy it, and I love being able to connect with other book lovers and bloggers, and I've met some really, really nice people from doing it, and they know who they are. And I've had really good conversations with them about books and just about life in general and my life, and for them to sit there and listen to me talk on and on about stuff that has nothing to do with books is like really awesome, and it's a great feeling to me because I don't usually get that at home. Nobody sits down and listens to me. And so it's great to know that people you don't even know, care. And for this watch, you know who you are. But yeah, that's just an awesome feeling, so don't give up. That's what I can say. That is about all I gotta say, because it's running really long. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and have fun, and keep reading, and keep blogging.